Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about SIBO, which is called small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. So that's when you get an overgrowth of bad bacteria in your small intestines, okay? And that's a critical part of digestion. And people that get this overgrowth have a very hard time digesting and absorbing their foods, getting the nutrients, extracting them from the foods properly. And when they do eat, oftentimes it makes them feel tired and sick. It's very hard for them to eat. And especially like fermented foods or fiber type foods, even probiotics, they will try to take a probiotic and it makes them feel nauseous or sick. They're often very bloated after they eat. These are some of the common symptoms of people with SIBO. And there's different types of SIBO, and you produce a type of methane gas, and there's three different types. The most common that I see in my office is the one that causes constipation. Some of them also cause diarrhea, or you can go back and forth between constipation and diarrhea. But bloating is always a very, very common symptom. And almost anything you eat, you're going to get bloating and feel bloated. And then food does not give you energy, it just makes you more tired. So, those are some very, very common symptoms that you have to look out for. The only way to get tested for that is through a GI doctor with a breath test, and you have to request that. A lot of times they will do an endoscopy or colonoscopies first or other types of tests. So if you do suspect you have SIBO, just request that test. Very important. Like I said, in my office, I often go by symptoms. I can't diagnose them, but I can help treat the symptoms of it. And one big, huge cause that I have noticed treating many, many, many people holistically is low stomach acid called hydrochloric acid, HCl for short. We are all born with hydrochloric acid, stomach acid, similar to that of raw apple cider vinegar. The stomach environment does need to be very acidic when we are eating, and especially proteins, because that acid helps you digest those proteins properly. Good stomach acid also helps defend against bacteria. So, our foods have bacteria in it. We have bacteria everywhere. You can touch something, be around someone that's sick, but oftentimes we ingest it in our food or fruits or vegetables, even chocolates carry a lot of bacteria. But having really good solid stomach acid helps get rid of those bacteria pathogens. But if you're low in good stomach acid, which most people are today because of processed diets, chronic stress, overconsumption of caffeine, like too much coffee or sodas, will deplete your stomach acid. Also, with age, we tend to get lower in stomach acid as well. If you take a lot of antibiotics or have antibiotic overuse, this can also deplete your stomach acid. And then if you take anti-acid, acid blocker medications, also called PPIs. Omeprazole is a big one. Nexium, Prilosec, Tums. There's many out there. That ends up making the problem worse. And some people do have a hiatal hernia, so it complicates it even more. So you have to be careful with that. And a lot of people will have inflammation in their stomach lining, and that can make the symptoms of acid reflux worse and the heartburn. And so you have to coat and soothe and heal and repair all that inflammation as well. So it is a process. You do have to ask a lot of questions to try to figure out which pattern fits you the best. But low stomach acid is such a big cause because you have nothing to kill the bad bacteria. And then you just get this overgrowth in your small intestines. And so I do a real specific protocol. We put good stomach acid back in, but oftentimes we do have to coat and heal and soothe and repair that stomach lining as well. I really like Gut Restore by Amy Myers. She's a medical doctor who's functional medicine, holistic, and she has a really good brand where you get HCl. Then you get the coaters and soothers all in one with that HCl, and it works beautifully. Hers is only 600 milligrams. Sometimes people need more. They might need 1,300 milligrams or more. So you could combine straight betaine HCl with something like Gastro 1 it's a powder by patient one, and it has aloe vera, slippery elm, chamomile, L-glutamine, marshmallow. All those help calm down that inflammation that can happen in that stomach lining or even the gut lining as well in your intestines. And so those are some really good options. I also like Fairchild's raw apple cider vinegar. It's unfiltered, organic, pure, not watered down like Bragg's is and some of the others are today. You can get that one on Amazon. And I'll do other supplements as well. The bacteria likes to create biofilms, which are protectors that coat around the bad bacteria because they want to live and thrive and survive. So they create these sticky biofilms to protect their bacteria. And you have to break through those biofilms. So I use either Interface by Claire brand. I will use biofilm phase 2 by priority 1. I kind of switch off between the two depending on each person. I use a certain type of garlic called garlic 5000 and berberine, and they go in there and kill the bacteria. And we'll do that for a couple of months, and then we like to mix it up in case there's any bacteria left. Sometimes I'll use Microbe Clear by Amy Myers or Micro Defense by Pure Encapsulations. It has sweet wormwood, which is also another heavy hitter for killing off SIBO. And then you also have to start healing and repairing the gut. You can't just kill off all the bad stuff and then not heal and rebuild the gut. But while you're doing the killing phase, you want to be off probiotics and fibrous type foods and sugar and gluten and alcohol. You got to get off of those because it will feed it. And then we start rebuilding with spore probiotics. Spore based are very important. Those with SIBO cannot just take any type of probiotic. And then we rebuild the gut. I use one called SIBO Rebuild by Priority 1. And then long term, you'll want to stay on like the apple cider vinegar, about a tablespoon and 3 to 4 ounces of water after your largest meal of the day. Sometimes you may need to take it up to 2 times per day. And you want to stay on that betaine HCl as well. Sometimes I also use more of a complete enzyme like Pure Encapsulations, Digestive Enzymes Ultra with betaine HCl. That is also a really good one. But if you go off of those, SIBO can come back. You also have to be careful with what you eat as well. And gluten and lots of sugar are big culprits that can cause that to come back too. So that's just a little bit of information about SIBO and how I treat it, some basics there to help you with that. And it's a really nasty disease, and it's very harmful and takes your life and your quality of life away. So anyways, reach out if you need more help with that. I do treat a lot of people with that in my office, and we have had great results. All right, bye-bye.